Let's see if we can get some of these undone. Start with these chrome ones. That's a 1/2 inch. Okay, that one's loose. And so is that one. Alright. Appears to be a washer on there. Yep. And get yourself a bag, like I've always telling you, intake manifold, so I know where shit goes. I'm one of these people that, yeah, I know where that goes, and then I forget. And you'll note that in aluminum, or aluminium, it's always coarse threads. Okay, that's those two. Let's see if we can undo the thermostat housing. This one should be interesting. Ooh, that appears to be coming undone. Please excuse my sniffing. I know I often say this, but I do suffer a lot from allergies, unfortunately. I didn't until I came to America. And the fact that I'm living in the desert probably doesn't help. And not that you really care, but when I was a child, they took out my tonsils and my adenoids, and they drilled holes through my nose, and they tried all sorts of barbaric things to stop my nose from running. Oh, they finally decided he has thin sinuses. Okay. So, what's the cure? Well, there isn't one. So, what should he do? He should go and live by the seaside where there's fresh air. So, where do I live? In the middle of a fucking desert. Is it any wonder I suffer? Oh, how ironic I end up living in a desert. Oh dear. But hey, I live where I want to live. I'll suffer the sniffs, and I'm sorry that means you guys have to as well. Well, I guess you don't have to watch my videos, but if you do, I will be the king of sniffers. It was handy in the 80s when I did cocaine. Gosh, that was a long time ago. I was young, rich and stupid. Now I'm old, poor and stupid. You do things when you're young you really shouldn't. I think it was my father said, youth is wasted on the young. Yeah, I don't see that coming off easily. Alright, so that's that one done. Next, let's undo this. Now this, the only wrench I could find that fitted it is an 18mm. Now let's hope it comes undone. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Oh dear. And I haven't got any soft jaws for the vice, so let me try, let me see. And it's brass too. I may end up heating this, and if I heat it, I'm gonna destroy it, that's for sure. Ah dear. Let's bring the center in. Oh, well, you couldn't see that, but it did actually move. Not very much. And it's remarkably stiff, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to dig that out with a screwdriver and put some more PB Blaster in there. Now, this on the end here, that is a 13/16. And if this comes undone, it will be American. Oh dear. Yeah. I tell you what, guys, I think what I might try on this will be the impact, maybe a little shock it off. Alright, time for me to... how am I going to get this out too? Let me just try one thing whilst I've still got you here. My little persuader friend here. I guess not. And I don't want to jam on it too hard. I'll try the rubber hammer, but I don't think that's going to have any effect on it. We'll use my little rubber hammer. Let's take this one. I don't think it will, but I'm going to take that switch out of the way first. Let's get a screwdriver. Screwdriver? I'd love to, just haven't got the time. The crap out. And that one undoes. If you could stay open, that would be very helpful. Oh dear, someone's buggered one of these screws up. Yep, and they've buggered this one up too. Oh dear. Oh, we got that one. I think I will be replacing these with some nice stainless steel screws. Yeah. May have to use the impact on this. Ooh. Now that is going to break. Damn it. Alright, so what I'm going to have to do... I'm going to take that gasket off with a knife and see if I can soak that even more in some PB Blaster, and I'd like to heat it up. And to tell you what, I may end up doing that. I may sacrifice the plastic on the auto switch just so that this doesn't break. I really don't want that to break, because then I've got a bigger nightmare rather than just buying a new auto switch. So that's probably the road I'm going to go down. I'll see. Okay, time for me to start cutting more crap out, like this and this, and getting PB Blaster in there to soak. Back in a moment. Well, we have progressed. I've managed to get everything off of this piece now. Unfortunately, yes, that one screw that wouldn't come undone did shear, despite my best efforts of heating and PB Blaster. But I got it out, and I've drilled the holes out, and I've retapped them, and I've actually done it in a metric thread, which I know is kind of sacrilege, but I did that because of the plethora of metric screws that I'm going to get the choice of, and they will be stainless steel, and they're the ones that hold this auto switch in, so I'm sure I'll find something perfect for that. Managed to get this out after heating it up to cherry red. That I've definitely got to buy a new one of them, and I think I'll buy a new one of these as well. I did get it out okay. The thread, as you can see, is a little iffy, so I will be tapping that thread out in here. I do have a tap that will do that, I believe. Although that's a bottom one, isn't it? This could be interesting, Houston. I may well have to just clean that with a little wire brush. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know anybody that ever... Oh, is that just corrosion around there? Is that corrosion? Because if it is, and that's just fur, then I can use a proper tap through there. I will have to dig into this. Where's my little Spiky. There's my little spiky. Ah, yes, look at it. Okay, so all that is fur. I'm assuming you can see that in there. Good God. This is the reason to take your engines apart and give them a good clean. Wow, look at that. Would you just look at that kid? Hey, bye, Ekblad. Trouble at mill. Yeah. Look at that. Alright, so I'm going to have to give that a lot more cleaning. Strangely enough, ooh, it's got some corrosion there. That's another job for Mr. JB Weld. I like to try and keep as many original parts as I can. Sometimes I can't, so we'll see. Yeah, I might be able to repair that with JB Weld, but as I was going to say, when I took this out, that's what I saw. Yes, nothing. This didn't even have a thermostat in it. Glad I didn't just run the engine. No thermostat, no good. Alright, so next is to clean these up. I'll be cleaning that out of there. I'll be cleaning this up, doing this surface, JB welding that, checking anywhere else that needs it, like on these here, just to make it smoother. And then we're going to polish it. Alright, enough of that now, let's get cleaning. Right, just to let you know, in here, hopefully you can see clearly in there, all that corrosion has got to come out. The thread in there is a 5/8 18 pitch. This tap that I've got fits in there perfectly. I don't have a wrench, a tool big enough to hold that, but it's 10mm for me. So let me clean that out and then I'll show you the cleaned up thread. Here it is now with the thread cleaned up, looking a lot better than it did, and obviously the corrosion has all been removed. And in fact, if you look in there, look at that pile of crap there. That's what actually came out when I re-tapped the thread. Now obviously there's a little bit of corrosion in there, so when I put this in I will be putting a little bit of sealant on it as well as the washer that belongs on it. Okay, let us now move on to cleaning these up with a wire brush, and then after that we'll do a little bit of polishing, I think. Well, the thermostat housing has had it. I may still repair it just for fun, but the corrosion here is quite bad. Also there's pieces missing here. I may still clean it up just to keep it, I don't know, maybe as a spare. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start polishing this up. I'm going to give it a flush out first and give it a go with the rust converter that I've got, just so that doesn't affect the polishing once I've finished. So that means I've got to tape up all of these holes, put a bung in there and a bung in there, and tape that one up there, and then fill it up and leave it to sit for a little while, and then drain it out and polish it. Once again guys, I have to apologise for my messy bench. This is terrible. I've really got to get this sorted out. However, what I just wanted to show you is, see this thing barbling away here. The rust is being eaten. Lovely. And in case I've never showed it before, but I think I have, this is what I'm using. You get it from, where did I get it? Home Depot. That's one of the places that sells it, and probably Lowe's as well, I would imagine. Good stuff. Gets rid of rust. Amazing. So just thought I'd share that with you. Taped up all the holes with Ducker's tape. Look at that. Whoop, whoop. Frothing away. Oh yeah, lovely stuff. Eating that rust. And it will not harm the aluminium on the inside, that is. Obviously I wouldn't want to put it on a polished aluminium surface because I think it might affect it then. Right, as soon as that's drained out we'll start the polishing and I'll show you how it goes. One thing I have just discovered, which I thought I'd let you guys know before I started the polishing. Just been ordering a lot of parts for this from S&G Barrett. A guy called Frank Rivera, really nice guy, really helpful. This apparently is the earlier type of setup on a Mark II 3.8. I did not know there was more than one type, I must admit. But this is the early type. Now, what makes this early and another one late, I'm really honestly not sure. Mine has 2 carburetors, and the area here for the starting carburetor. So, rather intriguing, I think. And as you can see from my manifold, it's not in bad condition at all, which is a great surprise. I will be doing the rust stuff in here to get the rest of these done. And it looks like they're all separate. Yeah, they are. They're separate. So I'm going to do them separately. Guess what I'll do is I'll cover up this face and then just pour the stuff in through these holes. Yeah, that's what I'll do. This one has now been done. As you can see, it's got rid of most of the rust. I wasn't expecting perfection. It's inside, so I'm not too worried. But as you can see, it did a pretty good job of taking that rust away. These just need a quick wipe with a rag, and that'll get rid of that little bit of residue there. Right, now we really will get to the polishing. Maybe I'll show you some of that. Might be a little tricky. I'll have to set the tripod up and see if I can show it to you. Because if I got it on my head, I've got a face mask on and a breathing mask on, and well, basically it'd be bloody awkward with this thing strapped to my head. Right, this is going to be a bit noisy. I've got a fan going, I'm going to get the buffer going, and it's going to be noisy, so there won't be any commentary, or if there is, it'll be kind of weird. So I'll get the buffer plugged in. Yeah, you know, good old Harbour Freight. Firstly, what I'm going to do is apply this compound to the wheel. Then we'll do a little bit of a run along here and see how good or bad it comes up. When I've completely done this rail, with this compound, then we move on to the other wheel, which you can't see at the moment, but you will, and you use a different rouge, which is what you call these. So let's give it a go. At the moment I don't have a breathing mask on. I want to see how this goes. If it starts to throw too much up into my face, then I will be putting a mask on, but I do have, you can't see it, look, I have face protection because it chucks shit everywhere. First, you apply. Then you start with the piece. See it now? options there. Alright, so as you can see from my face mask, it chucks it at you. Now, I'm doing this for demonstration purposes really. I'm going to do the rest of it off camera. That's after that one little pass. As you can see, it's coming up reasonably well. Got a fair bit more work to do, and this is rough cast under here, so this won't be done. And you know, you don't see this, but I will. I'll clean it up. This I will get to a nice shine. And another thing to note, guys, this gets really hot, so I'm going to have to put gloves on because I can't hold on to that anymore. It's got way too hot now. So that's what I'll do on the rest of this. Once I've completed this first pass on all of this, then I will be going over to the polishing. So this is merely preparation for polishing. That's it for now. Move on to the next clip, which will be once I've completed this piece here. Final part of this video. I'll start the next video with, oops, sorry about that, you're waving all over the place. I'll start the next video with the finished item. Just wanted to show you this. I Scotch-Brighted this area here and then gave it a quick buff. And this area here I did with 400 grit and then gave it a quick buff. And this is what 400 grit does. This is how 400 grit leaves it. So after a 400 grit, then just on the buffing wheel, that doesn't look bad, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do 400 grit, then 1000 grit, and then buff it, and we'll see how that comes out. And that will be at the beginning of the next video. I want to get this one out there so that you guys have got something to laugh at. At the moment, my lift is dead. I think I've mentioned this before. It died on me. The hydraulic ram started to leak, and the subframe I'm working on is actually on the top of the lift, and I can't get it down. It's too freaking heavy. So the subframe one will take a side step for a little while whilst I do some buffing and polishing. I hope you find it enjoyable, and please do like, subscribe, ding that bell, and if you want any you have any questions, please feel free to email me on gstargarage@gmail.com, and that's star with 2 R's, so that's GSTARRGARAGE@gmail.com. Thanks guys and girls, and see you on the next video.